Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Gold for episode 74 of On the Back of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and here we have all of our players today. We have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. Now, first off, I'd like to wish everybody a nice, happy holidays. I'm feeling the spirit now. I just went to a very belated Hanukkah party, so I am full of holiday spirit. But besides that, just a reminder, we are also playing a game of bingo tonight, which has been going on for a few sessions now. Each character has a bingo card with things that they need to accomplish to either get inspiration from a bingo, or if they fill their full card, they get a magic item vaguely of their choice. So just a little me pulling the strings on that one, but mostly your choice. So if anybody is during this says bingo or hey Jillian, does this fit one of my boxes, just so you guys know what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and give us a quick recap, and then I think we're ready to jump into things. Last we left off, you were in the middle of the woods staring at a giant, a small house fire. That is where
small house on fire.
This is where you had met Nira, who was another worshiper of Lady Satyr, who just regressed, was reborn. It depends on what word you're vibing with for this, into a younger version of herself to continue serving the lady. Saga, a bit perturbed by the whole situation, took time to speak to her goddess, and Lady Satyr showed her a small piece of what she had left behind. And even though it was an incredibly painful feeling and sensation, the small happiness before it was worth exploring and continuing to look forward to. Also, we had Gorbjorn, who confronted Saga after this to talk about her perpetual crying void eyes and the strange darkness and denseness of magic in the center of Nira's chest. Also talking about that he could see something pursuing Roshan the whole time, that there's just somebody else here. Nice talk by the water cooler, and by water cooler we mean Rose Petal the unicorn, who is now part of the party, who only understands Luxodon, so really is just pretending to understand the gossip.
He's just here for the snacks.
True. Everybody calm down.
We have some distressed cats in the audience
very aggressive tonight. But you all make your way back into town. You pick up Ptolemaeus, who informs you that even though pursued by a bunch of women, he was still able to do science. That there is metals, magnetic compounds inside of the corruption, similar to blood. And when showing you guys a magnet, somebody was like, would it work on a plant? He said no, and then it kind of worked on a plant. So Ptolemaeus has been dealing with that emotionally. That's just where he is. He's just been dealing with that, the plant moved. But on the way, you all came across the thing you were all so excited for, the thing that's been hyped up now for like 5 sessions. This undying pumpkin, which all it asked in return was a fair trade. And Gorbjorn says, I choose not to be able to read today. And
read straight.
And picked up the pumpkin and left with it. The rest of the party throws some coins and bits and bobs in. If this possibly fits the worth of this pumpkin, which by that time, Gorbjorn had already punched a hole into and thrown on the ground. You were only able to get about 1/4 of the pumpkin. That's what you were able to save before Thick Biscuit, your very thick horse, ate most of it.
Do you want to know the first time that Undying Pumpkin came up?
I would love to, if you already know.
10 episodes ago. We've been waiting 10 episodes for Disappointing Pumpkin.
Wow. Guys, aren't you having a good time?
No, was not for most of it.
You guys hyped it up so much, and maybe it'll be worth the hype later. We don't know. Or not. Sometimes life's a little disappointing, but that's okay because you
Better
push
to learn
forward.
that lesson early, kids.
Yeah, just sometimes
Rip that
things
Band-Aid right off.
aren't amazing, and they're just a pumpkin. You continue forward until you get to the city of Noansect. You're starting to enter a somewhat rich area, mostly because of a lot of import from lower towns with a lot of fishing, minerals, and such. So this area seems to profit heavily from being near the trade, near the bridge, and also being near the coast, kind of in this middle seat where it is thriving. Speaking of thriving, at the entrance of this area, there are multiple corrupted heads on spikes presented before you. And to just quell some anxiety about it, none of them are, humanoid. They have not presented like corrupted human bodies on these spikes. The only one that comes vaguely close is the amalgamation of pieces splotched together to be a head, which has the twisted magic rod stuck into its brain, which you know was made by a friend that you had met recently. So they've at least been by. You all stand at the entrance of Noansect. Ptolemaeus looks over. I am not sure if you need to stop here, but there's probably supplies I at least need.
Yes. I know at the very least I need to make another stop by the post office. Long overdue. Aside from that, yes, definitely. Supplies we'll need to top up on. I believe someone said they were looking for some specific gear. Were we able to acquire that?
I believe we bought the boots for Gorbjorn. That's what I was looking for.
I'd like to go shopping. Just
Hey.
cause.
Well, it's a much larger town than most that we've passed through so far, so probably you'll find something interesting.
Yeah.
You could always use some more alcohol. Ale.
Doubtless, yes. And some whiskey if you can find it.
Sounds good. Can't disagree.
Roshan's not interested in shopping for anything in particular, but if he does see a cart with a red stripe down the side.
Okay, so it sounds at least vaguely unanimous as the cart begins to turn into town. I would like to see who is helming perception checks. It sounds like Roshan would like to be one of those people. Who would like to be there? Sadly, you cannot assist each other. Roshan is looking for something different, but somebody else can roll a perception check.
Go ahead, Saga.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Oh,
Damn, mark that spot, bud.
Oh,
Turns out there's nothing in town.
Your first mark on the bingo sheet. You're finally part of the team.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
I got a 22.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, what does your nat 20 add up to?
25.
Okay, cool. Both of you head on a swivel. First thing all of you would notice, especially you two looking around, is if you're ignoring Bellevin, which is very small, the last larger area you were in had a lot of structural damage. Nothing of the sort here. This place seems to be in fine shape. Either they fixed it up if something had happened, but the consensus is at least not a large corrupted creature like attacked the last town. Has not come here. Almost a sentence. We get the vibe. But you're making your way forward. None of you have been here before, so I would assume that you'd probably flag somebody down just for directions vaguely about where shit is.
Yeah.
Neat.
I know we covered perception checks, but Fen would like to, not his strong suit, but try to like insight check. Like, are people looking at us funny because we have a unicorn?
You don't have to roll insight for that because 1,000% they are.
Okay.
That is something people with high perceptions we're going to see in just a moment, but you don't even need them. You guys have a fucking unicorn and a large basket dragging behind your cart. You are a strange, obvious motley crew at the
We're
moment.
the talk of the town, boys.
There's going to be a town crier. There's a unicorn in town. And just like everybody gets to know, can I help you?
Ooh, unicorn. I don't know. That might be good, might be bad. We'll see.
Either way, you guys are not subtle, is what we'll say.
We never were.
That's true. And any bit of subtlety you may have had is now gone. As you ride in on a unicorn. But I digress. Here are the main things you learn about. You're welcome to ask about different things, and there may be roles involved with that, but here's the main stuff you get from being out-of-towners. There are 2 main inns close to where you are. One of them, very nice, a little swanky, but you all just came into some coin, so that's up to you how you feel about it. In a nicer area, so you can expect maybe everybody gets a nice bed and a pillow, you know? There's also a shittier tavern, which this person who talks to you, Tavern Inn, says not exactly the best place to stay the night if you're able to go elsewhere. There is also a big, beautiful temple in town, a temple dedicated to Njord. And that seems to be something that this person who is native to here speaks very fondly of this very big, nice temple. And also you learn that there is a magic shop. These are the vague basis of things that this person was like, I finally get to talk about the town. But besides that, is there anything else you wanted to ask this person about? Or is there a place that you wanted to go now?
How close is the water would be a question Tordric could ask. How close is the water, or can it be seen?
You are not in an area where you're close enough to see anything. It's still going to be a hot minute, sadly. But you know you are going towards it. You are currently on the way to the water. But here, not so much. They just benefit. They have water benefits. Anything else, or where would you like to head?
Well, I gotta ask if there's a fabric shop. I would like to see the rest of it, but good to know.
This guy thinks a moment. Let's see. How well does he know the town? The big city. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he points you in a direction. It's in the nicer area of town.
Very good.
He stares at you for a long time, you atop this unicorn. He's like, yeah, as he kind of points in the direction. So you have the direction of the fabric shop now.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
Was the post office already pointed out to us?
You can ask and it will be.
The post office, if you would be so kind, my friend.
Points and gives you vague directions about where a post office could be found.
Thank you.
This person that we're asking, just a random person we flagged down on the side of the road, or?
Yep. It is just a random person who had just enough energy where you're like, this guy probably knows where the inn is.
Do you see many strange visitors in this town?
Recently? It looks over the group.
Not as strange as us, but
Oh, nobody as strange as you, no.
Well,
Perhaps by a couple degrees fewer. Degrees
Like
less.
missing an arm, kind of.
That seems kind of rude. He's like, I've seen people missing arms. Not like a lot of people.
Someone like that, perhaps, with a small retinue. They'd be maybe a little shabbily dressed. Robes.
I'm sorry, that doesn't really ring any bells.
Does he seem legit?
You're welcome to insight him.
I will attempt.
You squint.
It's not my worst skill, is the thing. But I still managed to roll not very good. 14.
Nothing's ringing any bells with you. There's nothing suspicious about his reply.
Okay, cool. No weird
this
vibes.
random man you flagged down on the side of the road.
Just random man. He's like, nah, that don't seem familiar. And yeah, it seems not familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think there's some secret to unnamed man on road.
Neat
He doesn't seem to have that.
vibe.
Unless if only you had rolled a 15. But anyway.
What?
Is there anything else? He's holding like groceries. Yeah.
Oh, poor
I
man.
just wanted to say I came into town in my my prince outfit
Hell
Of
yeah.
course. Of course.
because we're getting me new boots and everything.
Yeah.
And then I just like want to look down. It was like, there any half-orc camps around here?
He looks at you and he like looks you over.
This
You know-
is Prince Gorbjorn. Please treat him with respect.
Go ahead, Gorbjorn. Give me flat charisma with advantage.
Hell yeah, buddy.
So that's a 4 and a 2.
Oh.
What does that add up to?
A 4.
Hell yeah. Well,
Oh,
don't
buddy.
you worry, because nameless man holding groceries with his nat 1 looks up at you.
Oh.
Wait,
Uh,
did you just succeed on his worst skill? Is that
No,
what-
because intelligence is a -1.
Oh,
Damn
never
it.
mind.
Of course,
and it's
intelligence.
also this is not in the skills category. This is
True.
abilities. Anywho, he's just holding the groceries and he looks at you and he seems that there's like a bit of respect, like somebody important is talking to him. He's
Oh,
like,
we never get a prince in town.
I don't think so. We don't actually have a lot of problems here with like bandits and the like.
Racist.
I was gonna say, like, what do you mean? No trouble, like.
You asked me about camps. Usually, if there's camps outside of the city, it's usually a bunch of bandits.
No, I would have let it go and just given him like a kind of look.
He looks back at you, unsure if he's in the wrong or not, but like does not like. He's just like, little sweat on the brow.
Uncomfortable.
I'm gonna roll insight to see what he's really thinking.
Oh, cool, go for it. Yeah, let's see.
16.
When asked about work camps, as is obvious at this point, now especially to you, 100% lined up with bandits in his mind. There wasn't like is there a nice town? Because that wasn't the question to him.
Right.
Is there a nice town of orcs nearby? He does not, it seems that he's also now slightly uncomfortable because this guy who he thinks has some status of some sort
Has
is
given
looking
him
at him
the
with
stink
like a
eye.
little bit of a stern look, and he's like, just sweating a little. But
Did I
nothing
just
more
solve your
than-
culture?
He's like, is there anything else you guys need?
No, sir, you're dismissed. Thank you.
he looks at you and he looks confused by the wording, but he accepts it and nods and he moves on. And that is the story of Nameless Man with Groceries. As he hurries off.
Probably a mercy we didn't ask for his name.
He's like, I gotta make up a name now. But you now know where multiple things in town are. Where would you like to go first? If anywhere. To the Void? It's up to you.
Dive
I'm
bar.
always down for a trip to the Void.
Well,
There would be drinks at the Good Inn and also the Bad Inn.
Let's go to the good
Um,
end.
yeah.
I got
Come in
a
to get
status to
rooms.
represent.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Fen will take a trip with Tordrick down to the dive bar if that's where Tordrick wants to go.
Tordrick says, "Oh, as a dwarf, I will tell you that I found that the best whiskeys are always at the tough place." Yeah, so if we're gonna get some whiskey, we should go that way. I don't want some, so both places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Always a good find at a bad bar. Rooms probably better at the nicer bar.
So would you all like to go to the nice place, get rooms, figure out your lives there? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Sounds like a plan. You all make your way down the road, turning heads by many men with grocery bags. That is just the populace of the town now, is man with grocery bag.
Women with grocery bag.
Just
Non-gendered folks with
bag.
grocery bags.
Only men. I can't
Only
tell you
men?
why. It's only men with grocery bags here.
The men do the grocery shopping in this town.
So it's very specific. You continue forward, following the directions. Start to get to a bit more of a nicer path. It's like somebody took the time to put nice little stones on the ground. Like you're like, wow, this is fancy.
Probably leads to the fancy town.
You see a building, a nice wooden building, 3 stories. And in fancy script on the front says Gilded Knights Inn.
Makes sense. Wait, Knights? K-N?
Nope.
I-G? Oh. Ooh. Interesting.
Nary a night here, only bedtime.
I like that.
You all dismount unicorns and vehicles, and you're all welcome to head inside.
Is there a unicorn chauffeur anywhere around here?
There's
Like that?
there's a place to, like, you could tie off your unicorn for now. You could also just tell your unicorn, don't move. You have full control over this guy.
Well,
We
I
might
mean,
need to tie up, Thick Biscuit somewhere or
That's
like
easy
park
enough.
the cart.
We can park the cart. Yeah.
You parallel park into a nice spot right outside of the Gilded Knights Inn.
All right, back it up.
Who wants
back
to
it up,
park
back
the
it up.
car?
Park the car.
I'll park the cat in the yard.
What are you saying, Saga?
I just want to tell Rose Petal just to watch the cart and watch Biscuit. And if anybody comes by, you just give them the stink eye. Okay? Like if they want to like get in the car or something like that. All right.
Turns their head aggressively and narrows their little horse eyes at a person who walks by.
Perfect.
All you guys hear is elephant sounds because this
Yeah.
whole conversation is had in Luxodon. But
Is that the same language that we were talking about with our friends in where?
the place,
The
Come on,
place
it's-
of which
we
we,
were in
do
the
not
valley.
speak.
you know that illegal place we were in? Yeah. But you watch as Rose Petals goes over and stands a little bit protectively in front of Thick Biscuit. And this Thick Biscuit just seems very unfazed. Kind of tries to move away a little bit when the unicorn just gets so close, but nowhere to go.
Protect your kin with your life. That is your duty.
This unicorn
leave.
looks dead in the eyes, and in Luxodon is like, I'd die for you. Has no idea what is said.
Big Biscuit, I don't think even really understands common.
No.
Big Biscuit's like, I don't know what anybody's saying. I'm just a horse.
I speak horse.
I do not speak common. I'm a horse. But you enter the Gilded Knights Inn. Instantly warm inside, incredibly warm. On both sides, there's a hearth on both sides of this building, making the room incredibly warm. Fur rugs on the ground. You can see nice wooden trim up around the top edges. There is a well-dressed woman who gives a wave. Hi, could I help you?
My friends and I are looking for some mail.
And rooms.
And rooms, yeah.
Oh, in rooms, yes, he said. Forgot it.
Priorities.
Whoops.
She smiles. Well, I think we can be quite accommodating in both departments. If you just give me 1 second. And she pulls out a book and starts to flip through it. Saga, with your stupid high passive perception. Oh, yeah. You see a nice dressed man. Looks like he finished talking to a customer who makes their way upstairs. And you watch him look over at the party and like, all right, and then look away and then stop. And then look at the party again and make his way over to the woman who is helping you behind the counter. So he makes as unsuspicious of a beeline as he can, but you watch the whole look back and forth process.
What's he
Is
wearing?
this Tim Curry from Home Alone 2?
I'm tricking you all into a holiday special episode.
Ooh.
I'm not. I don't want to raise expectations again.
Oh, come on. Can't we have just one ridiculous Rube Goldberg trap of paint cans and, heavy
Axes.
implements?
And fire.
We'll see what happens. Those things sound actually plausible. But this man makes a way over. It looks like he's dressed similarly to the woman, maybe even slightly better. But she's like looking at the book and she stops and she like runs her finger down the page. And the man comes over and he smiles at all of you and like gives you a nod. And then pulls the woman back a bit and whispers into her ear.
My
What's he
big elf ears,
saying?
can I hear him?
Let's.
Ben, what do your
I got
elf
high
ears
E
hear?
passive as well.
He's going to see if he can beat everybody's. Actually, 2 people are welcome to roll for it. This is no longer passive. This is what's happening. So
I hope
who's
he rolls
rolling?
real bad, so it's just like, okay, I need you to charge a lot for this room.
Raise the price.
Yeah.
I got a 23.
Damn.
It's a perception, right?
Yes, I'll take that.
Oh, I think I get distracted by his outfit. I rolled a 1.
You're just like
Yeah,
fixated
big
on
time.
that outfit though.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It is. It's a very nice outfit.
Very well tailored.
Fen, you hear the man say, if you don't mind, I'm going to take care of this group. And he's like, could you go to the back? And she looks to the group. She's like, my coworker here is going to finish off. I have some work that I need to attend to. And she smiles. She looks a little unsure and she's like, okay. And then she makes her way to the back and the man steps forward. Hello.
I like your outfit.
That is incredibly sweet of you. Which makes this a bit more difficult. I'm sorry, but we cannot serve you here.
Why?
Saga, roll persuasion.
With advantage as I look so kingly behind him. Her.
Sure.
Super
advantage.
kingly,
Take it.
very princely.
You stand up a little more majestic. You're like, what? Look at me.
I'm
Pardon?
like shining off my jewelry, bitch.
Look at this.
16.
16. Okay. You watch him shift uncomfortably for half a second. I'm incredibly sorry. I don't want any trouble. But I received a missive, a warning from a trusted associate near the Hammer that informed me that you are possibly a flight risk and may attempt to avoid payment or may burglarize the building, to be so bold. These are not my words.
Oh, we would never do that.
I'm sure you would not, but as you can see, I have to think of what is best for the guests I have currently, and I trust my associate quite heavily.
What if we pay a security deposit and I will put a platinum piece on the counter?
Ooh.
He looks at it. Gorbjorn, go ahead and roll persuasion. No advantage, no disadvantage. That platinum got rid of the disadvantage.
I'm gonna grab his.
Hey!
I was gonna give.
I put
was
it
gonna-
on the table, but I won't let my finger off of it. He gets
Your
close to
fingers-
it. I'm like, no.
You just start pulling it back slightly.
You have to say yes first.
He's like,
I was gonna. Oh, gonna try to give him guidance, but it was too late.
Guidance
I
wasn't
guess.
going to do anything here.
Yeah.
He looks over the group and he looks at your hand on the coin. I truly appreciate you choosing the Gilded Knights Inn, but I'm afraid this will not work between us. But there are other inns in town. If I could direct you towards quite a quirky establishment. If you are interested, just a bit back that way, is the gruesome chicken.
Ooh.
We've met some of
I'm
those.
sure they would be happy for your patronage.
I would like to stay here, please. Thank you.
I am terribly sorry you can't.
I'm
Have
gonna
a
kind of
nice
like
day.
huddle people out the door, and then I'm like gonna like whisper Fed and like stop breaking things. Because I was imagining your trap is what got us kicked out.
He thinks way back to the other inn.
That's
Like,
the other inn.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. That
This
was
guy's
not,
talking
this is the
about
cart.
memory.
This guy's talking about the destruction of the cart across the bridge and then us trying to not pay for the destruction of the cart that we rented.
That seems to not be what Gorbjorn feels deeply
Yeah, I
inside.
can tell.
He doesn't think he's in the wrong there.
I know he doesn't.
That's not a problem. You were waved at by this man as he watches you go, and like the last person watches him like relax a bit, like like that wasn't the most pleasant thing for him, and he's glad it's over. But you are ushered outside.
Cool.
Rose petals staring daggers. A woman and her child who walk by.
Oh God!
They make a big arch around the unicorn. The unicorn's like, yeah, okay.
I'll whisper to Saga and say, you should tell Rose Petals that they can take a big old dookie right in front of this establishment.
Oh my God!
I think that's a very good idea.
Oh my God! Do we want to be excommunicated from more inns?
I whispered it.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah.
This
Fine,
is the
whatever.
bad boys huddle.
Bad boys huddle.
I'm usually leading those.
Oh,
Nana is
Roshan,
over in the
Roshan.
awful stupid corner, I guess.
I have another idea.
I'm all ears.
Okay, cool. So, I'm going shopping right away. What if we dressed up like different people and we went in anyway and we did some shenanigans inside?
You know, I like that idea, but I think it's going to end up just about the same as it did with the woman Nira in the woods, except they're not going to burn it down. They're going to arrest us.
Nero's super wise, and she had the benefits of Lady Seder behind her. I'm sure these people are not. They're very rude.
So they're more likely to burn the place down?
No, they're less likely to notice that we are actually people that were there earlier today.
You know, if you can find us all some great costumes while we're out and about, I'll come along with your idea.
Okay.
I'll get on Gorbion's shoulders.
Oh, yes, we could get you a trench coat.
Ooh, hell
You
yeah.
could be
Gorgeous in the bad boy
What are
house.
you
Love
all
it.
whispering about back there?
A giant with a very small head.
You love to see it.
I think Tordic has a decently. Like, he's got a.
He's got a dwarf-sized head, but not a giant-sized head.
Not for a man who would be a solid, 10 feet tall?
I have no idea where this conversation came from, and I don't want to know.
Nano just came in at the giant person part. She's just like,
Yeah, just like,
happening.
what?
We were whispering.
Sorry, Tordrick just sounds like he's always bellowing.
He probably-
It's a dwarven trait.
I can't whisper.
Well, I am
Okay.
going to talk to Rose Petals, and then I'm going to go shopping. That is all I am doing today.
Very well.
So would you like to swing by the fabric shop in this area, and then would you guys like to head to the gruesome chicken?
Is the magic
guess.
shop also in the rich folks area?
Alright.
Yeah, I want to go there too.
In the post office?
Post office and magic shop. Yeah, it's a magic shop, I guess. Both are not in this like hoity-toity little area.
What about the temple?
Temple, on the other hand, is.
My God. I know what's going through your head.
We'll find out.
Seduce a
Maybe we're
priestess.
interested in learning about some gods. But if you all make your way to start looking for these things, easy enough to hit, the first things you would see are the things in this nice area, which would be a nice fabric shop. Saga inside, beautiful long scrolls of fabrics. A lot of deep reds, mustard yellows, kind of a navy-ish blue, and there's a wall of different types of threads and buttons, bits and bobbins. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Says the woman who walks out.
Hello, yes. I'm looking for just, the specials for your town. I like to get the local, stuff. But also I would like, some high quality soft fabric. It wouldn't like chafe at all or anything, but, sturdy enough where, it wouldn't like rip too easy. The person that'll be wearing it, I'm not sure how to predict, like, if they might rip it. So, yeah.
Right this way. And she shows you over to the wall of fabrics. Any particular direction you'd like for this very sturdy fabric? We start to get a bit more limited going with that type of fabric, but if that's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. Just any color, but like I just don't want like a tan. Like that's just too bland. I need something with a little bit of color. I think the person that's wearing it could really pull anything off. So just not tan. I just don't want
I'm
anything
sure.
bland.
There's a unicorn standing in the window, staring menacingly.
Oh my God.
She ignores it.
What a champion.
Not my business. This is my business. And leads you around. She shows you like a muted purple, kind of with like those gray tones. what do you think of this? It's a thicker, sturdier material, has a bit of color to it, but not too out there. I think suits anyone.
I like it. I think I need also some. Do you have bright blue or bright pink or both? To add like a trim, like a trim.
We have trim. Leads you to another wall.
Gorbjorn's ears perk up somewhere in the distance.
You are able to get this this purpley fabric. You're able to get trims in near any color that makes you happy. It seems that this place has all the dyes and has many a fabric. Kind of ringing a bell that this is a very nice shop. For something special for the area. Well, this would if you're looking for a fabric that says no insect, I think this is the perfect piece. And leads you over to a lighter blue fabric, and with white thread is a reoccurring image of a very basic boat shape. So it's like kind of the basics of the dragon boats. So it looks like on the ends, it's like two basic little dragon heads, the boat, you at the bottom, and then up at the top, sort of rising like a not unfurled sail per se. But that seems to be a reoccurring design choice on this piece of fabric. How about this?
Yes, I like that quite a bit. Could I get some like sunshine yellow to go with it?
Gorgeous. And she goes over to a wide selection of yellows, and you pick the one that suits you best.
Perfect.
Do you have the measurements for the and points back to the grayish purple?
Give me 1 second. I run outside and I like put my arms around Rose Petal.
You get a little under, like halfway. You're like, all right.
Yep. And then I go back in and I'm like, this long, and kind of double this in width.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And begins to start taking off a large amount of fabric. For all of these things, such a nice area. You can get all of these yards here for a gold and 2 silver.
No problem. That sounds great to me. I have money for some reason.
Saga goes for her bag of copper and is like, oh.
Ooh.
I'd have
More
to
money keeps
inquire
finding
with
its way in my
the
pocket.
party bank.
Yeah. 2 silver, so I'm gonna need 20 copper. I give 1 gold and I count 20 copper.
She watches non-judgmentally.
Very kind of her.
It's better than what I used to do.
Yes.
It's much faster.
I am very proud of you and your new financial state, and pulls all of the coins into a bag. Well, enjoy your crafting.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Hope you have a good day.
You as well. And she smiles and waves. Making a pretty penny today and supplying you for horse clothes. But if you continue forward, the last thing in this beautiful posh area is a temple dedicated to Njord. It is this beautiful wooden building, sticks out a bit, different in style than a lot of things in the area. You can see that it's pretty crowded in the sense you can see traffic going in and out of the building. There are wooden pillars that go around the extent of it. with designs carved into it. A lot of it looking like waves and that boat design, Saga, that you got on your fabric. That seems to be very present in the designs here. You can also see that there is a guard standing at each corner of this temple.
Mm-hmm.
Tordrick would like to go in quickly.
Yeah, anybody's welcome to go in. Who'd
go
be
in.
interested in going in?
I'll go.
I'll go.
Sure.
I'll step in. Why not?
Yeah.
Interesting place.
You all head inside. In the center portion, you can see an abundance of heavily used candles, as there's like the long strings of wax that have like pooled onto the floor around it in places, just left there. There's also wooden pillars, the same as the outside, but much more intricate. 4 main ones in each corner, depicting visions of the sea. There are also wooden arches that go over the top, doing the same type of design. There is also on the far end, sort of the spectacle, one could say, is a large wooden statue, pretty flat, almost leaning more into a relief, a carving of a man with a beard that comes down and swirls multiple times at the bottom. Below him is that wave design, and atop his head, like a crown, is the boat design, a little embellished to make it a bit more crownly. Also on top of this about 15-foot tall statue, you can see that right at the top there is an actual crown as well. It looks to be made of, kind of has like a shark tooth look to it, that the top of this thing is decorated in a crown of shark's teeth. And over the side of the shoulder is where an actual fabric cloak hangs. At the foot of this statue, there are gifts. There is food, dried meats. You can see there is loose gold and silver here. There are jewels. There are wooden carvings laid about as well. You can see animal skins. You're welcome to go inspect that further if you want more details, but that's the most visible part that you can see. There are also 2 guards on the inside near the door, standing on either side of it. One moment before any questions, just double checking. You can see a man who looks like a religious leader walking around and talking to people, based on his blue robes that also have, very similar to the fabric that you got, Saga, like almost identical.
Oh.
On the walls, there is, like the wall is painted. So there are depictions now with color of the sea. So there are the wooden pillars and the statue, which have no paint, but then these huge long walls with depictions of a man in a large boat and like rough seas and like a whole storyline there. Just making sure I give you guys all the details. How could I forget? And as you all enter and take in the place, you watch as another person in these religious robes comes out holding a rope, and on the end of it is a goat. And the man walks forward with the goat and ties it to sort of a bit of a slab space at the foot of the statue where the other gifts are. And the goat chills there. And there's just a goat now casually standing there. You've all entered the temple. Is there anything you'd like to do or look at?
Tordrick is wide-eyed and blown away by the whole thing. Hasn't seen any type of temple like this ornate, I don't believe. He doesn't recall. And he just says, by the nines, if this doesn't get a god's attention, I don't know what would. And he starts walking towards one of the religious leaders, just like he has to go talk to someone real quick.
Of course. Tordrick excitedly makes his way forward. Anything else from anybody else? The whole gaggle. Let's start with Fen.
I just clarification, because we're in the east and they're a little less stringent about these things. Do we know Njord to be alive, as one of the gods regarded to be alive, or
Roll religion.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it would be common knowledge. 18. That was a pretty good religion roll for Fen.
It's not like Fen's favorite topic, but never have you heard about Njord being somebody who passed in the war. And you know that it could be a possibility the further you go east that maybe people wouldn't care, but you think that these people still might care a bit. You think this god is more than likely alive.
Okay, that's all. Fen doesn't know what he's. Fen's just hanging out.
Yeah, I'm here with my friends. Nana. I'll follow just my view of the people.
Just wanted to know, like, whether or not there's any knowledge of Njord or his followers that might have traveled to the west. Like, I don't know, like just basics, what his deal is, what his worship's about. I'm sure there's clues around us, but is there any knowledge we're bringing in?
Go ahead and roll religion.
Okie dokie. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Nana and religion don't get on together. 5.
You look around.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
Water and boat. Water and boat and goat.
Water, boat, goat. Nana's like, nailed it, figured out the whole religion. So that's the best you got.
Makes sense.
Roshan, were you part of the hand raising? Feel like everybody raised a hand. I'm just
I would like to go at the end.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll get to you two in a minute.
Roshan would like to find some privacy. I don't know. Is there a place where people are praying in quiet? Whatever. And then activate some detect magic just to case the joint.
Just to case the joint. So you're kind of bowing your head a bit because as you use detect magic, your eyes go black. So you're just kind of trying to keep your head down a little bit. And
Low profile in the prayer stalls or whatever.
Kind of like glancing up under eyelashes with those deep black eyes.
Okay. Remind me to get back to you in just a moment, Roshan.
Sounds good.
Because I got things to talk about with you in a moment. But I'd love to know, Gorbjorn.
I was literally gonna say I want to turn on my wolf eyes and see what's I want to steal.
God damn it!
And you
We're gonna
activate
get thrown
wolf
out of
eyes.
every town we visit.
Yeah. I got a stick.
And we'll get back to you as well in a moment. And I'll tell you what you both see. Saga.
I would like to figure out what they are going to do with the goat.
Saga's gonna end up liberating this goat.
I think I need to. I don't know what. I have a bad feeling about this.
It's gonna be a
Would you like to walk over and kind of check out the area they put the goat in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You make your way over. Go ahead and roll me investigation.
Oh, I don't think I've ever done that.
A little stingy with investigation.
Well, fuck. What's my investigation?
2.
Ooh. Honestly, I can sadly still tell you a bit with the 2. You see the goat, and then you see the gifts, and you see this like slab space where like people are putting the gifts more around it.
Mm-hmm.
You can come to your own conclusions on this. but it is a stained slab. There are deep stains set in, and this goat just looks at you with its unsettling eyes, but there's just something deep and understanding about it as this goat looks at you.
I will say just because this is one word in Loxodon, because that's the language of all animals, I suppose.
Is it?
And I just
Meow.
I just say the word that means like savior.
Touch the goat's cheek.
Yes.
Okay.
There's just you think he understands.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's it. I don't know. maybe I want to see what these guys find out, but maybe I'll walk over to the person who's running the place and talk to him after.
Okay, yeah, you can start making your way after kind of sidling around to make your way back to Tordrick, who's talking to him. But first, let's get to team. What's magic in here, Jillian?
Oh boy. Is
This
it damn
place-
near everything?
There's a bit of magic in here. It's not crazy. Not too much. The place where you see a lot of the magic coming from is the statue. You can see that the crown of teeth atop the statue's head is magic. You can see that the cloak that hangs off the shoulder is magic. And there's like, if you saw something like small and slightly circular in shape kind of shoved in amongst the rest of the gifts, would either of you or both of you move in to get a better look at it?
I would totally pickpocket sleight of hand that.
Yeah, you make your way over, making it like you're like that one, which is at foot level, so easy peasy.
And while he does this, Roshan would like see him going over toward this pile on the ground. He will try to distract any temple staff there are around.
How you doing that?
Just with some.
You got black eyes.
Loud.
You could.
Yeah, he'll drop the black eyes and just ask loudly to the nearest one to the front or whatever. What's the story of Njord? Or Njord?
Njord. You stand up and loudly, what's the story of Njord? Everyone's heads turn. Go ahead and roll me performance.
No, I was just wondering that.
That is just
That's an 18.
What's the deal with Njord?
What's the deal with
this
yours?
guy has a deal. Oof. Oh, okay.
What's
I
the
mean,
deal
you
with
don't know
boat
what
food? Oh boy.
You catch the attention of one of these religious leaders, who Tordrick you have just stopped in front of, and Saga you've started to make your way towards. So he kind of sees the approaching of people and then the loud asking of questions, and he looks to you and he's like, would you all be interested to know? And like looks from Tordrick to Saga to Roshan, who loudly proclaimed he'd like to know.
We'd love to hear the story of Njord.
I would love to tell you a story or two. All right. If you follow me to the walls.
Ooh. Those pictures.
And Nana's just like at a museum, has no idea anything untoward is going to happen. Go ahead, Gorbjorn. I would love sleight of hand with advantage.
Fuck.
18.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
You're like, yeah, the story of Njord. Cool. And you go in a completely opposite direction and look up at this 15-foot tall carving. The light growing very brightly from the crown, the cloak, and the thing at the foot of the statue. And you can see that it is a small leather bag tied with a string. The whole bag, and you can see its contents are glowing.
The bag itself is glowing.
It seems to have like a faint aura to it. The things inside glow a bit brighter, but it glows as well.
Just gonna put it in my pants and casually look around.
Okay.
Ooh, pictures. Yes. Statue. Nice.
So 18.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. As you begin, this older man in his robe seems very excited. He can see the wonderment, kind of the intrigue on like Tordrek's face, and that also hypes him up a bit. This whole area a good bit. If you find temples around here, most of them will be to Njord, especially when you get to the coastal villages. But this, and like motions to the temple, this is the most grand and honoring temple one will find of Njord.
Opulent, really.
Truly. And he smiles. Njord is known as god of many things. He is the god of the sea, and like moves his hand along like the painting where the water is. He is also seen in some cases as a god of fertility, but also a god of wealth. And I believe that wealth has truly blessed this area, truly a blessing from Njord himself, and points over to the statue. And starts going into like detail about like, here's his ship and here's his symbol. As he's moving you along, there's a weird part of the wall, and it's too much of the wall, and it shouldn't be this much of the wall, but it is just a painting of a row of feet, just a bunch of feet, different types of feet painted across this like one section of the wall. Catching your eye, Saga, you can see there is a beautiful woman standing to the side with blue skin. Does not look like the Uproar per se, but a woman with blue skin, like looking questioningly at the feet as everyone else is looking at this painting of feet.
What those feet do?
What do the feet do?
What do the feet do indeed?
I suppose if that's what you're into.
Oh,
Well, what do they? Why are they on? Why are there so many? I don't
well,
know.
these are the feet of many eligible bachelors, and like motions at the feet of the wall. The giantess Scotty, and points to the questioning woman looking at the feet, was interested in marrying perhaps the most handsome of the gods, and the gods, being not so fond of a giantess kicking in the door and saying, I'd like to marry the hottest man in town, made it a bit of a competition, and she had to decide based solely on the feet. And of course, and looks back at the statue, Njord, the most beautiful feet.
Ah.
And
Makes
he like,
sense.
Well, you do know what they say about sailors' feet.
No, what?
Yeah, what is that, Nana?
yeah, what
I
do they
don't,
say?
I've never
And
met
I
a.
got
I don't think I've talked to sailors. I
I've
don't
only
know.
heard of sailors' legs.
Yeah.
You're saying Nana's never told you before?
What?
Just a pun.
So the feet, and points to like the feet that have like a shine around them, and has fully gone into detail about how great Njord's feet are.
I have another question.
Yes.
What do you do with all the stuff around the statue?
Oh well, those are offerings. They are left there for Njord as a sign of appreciation for what he has done and his continued care.
Does he come here to pick them up?
Not exactly.
Well, how does he get them then?
You see him like kind of like look at you. It's more of a showing of the show of giving, and sometimes the gods can receive things in energies, in sacrifice. And then you watch him motion directly to the goat.
Oh.
Yes, tomorrow we will have a bit of a display and a moment to honor Njord.
Is there any particular significance to the goat in particular as a sacrifice to Njord?
Well, this goat was the strongest of his flock, and was a good pick in our opinion.
But goat would not be the only sort of animal sacrifice for Njord.
Normally, you would want to lean towards stronger beasts, beast of burden, sometimes horses, something that shows strength.
No eligible candidates this time of year?
Well,
beyond the strong goat.
It depends sometimes. And like he's like, well, right now we can't go around killing all the horses. But Gorbjorn, whoop, put the bag in your pocket. It feels near empty. It's very strange. Like, as your hand like touches it for a moment, you can feel that it has a little bit of weight to it, and there's some things in it, but it's very light. And you put it in your pocket, and you glance over, and you see one of the guards is straightened up. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Oh boy, guys.
Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to take a 10-minute break, so grab yourself a snack and drink. Come back, and hopefully nobody gets arrested. Unless that's what we're going to do, and then we have to break people out of prison. Who knows?
Gotta save the goat.
We'll be fine. We got to save the goat. See you guys in 10 minutes.
Thanks, 10.
everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult. We are currently in the middle of a beautiful temple of Njord, in a, first off, gorgeous temple in the middle of a very nice area of town. Most of the party following around a nice old man who's describing his god in loving detail. But one party member has picked up something from the offerings and put it in their pocket. The only magical item chilling on the floor. Fen, because you were talking about this earlier, go ahead and give me just, perception. Go ahead and give me a perception check to check out the area and its peoples, to see if anybody, now without a unicorn, is looking at you.
17. I hope
Okay.
that's enough.
Okay. You take a look around. You see that you guys get looks. You're a large group. You're a group of very adventurer-looking types. Like, you don't exactly fit in with the normal people of town. So you already just stand out naturally, unicorn or not. So you get the occasional glance, but none of it strikes you as any different than normal. And it's like, okay. And then you see one of the guards perk up. And the guard has started walking towards the statue, and you go this way and look with your eyes, and you see Gorbjorn there.
Knowing Gorbjorn and seeing this, I'm gonna flick Jenny out of my pocket. I go, oh, Jenny, come back.
Bird shit all over the temple.
Now there's a loose bird in here. Now there's a loose bird in here,
Jenny, come back.
and I'm making commotion trying to get my bird back.
Go ahead. First off, let's start with animal handling. Just give me animal handling, and that'll see how the rest of the idea of rolling will go.
That is another 17.
Okay. Go ahead and give me performance with advantage.
With advantage.
As your bird, basically, you're like, she'll ignore the shit out of me. I don't have any food. And you just kind of throw her into the air. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going back down ever again. As she flies around the room.
With advantage, that's a 19. Thank you so much for advantage.
Oh, no problem.
Would have been a 6 otherwise.
Oof.
Would have lost my bird forever.
Earned it. So if you guys like, oh, very nice, very beautiful drawing of feet. How very fun. My bird! And
Oh no, Jenny!
And then it's just, there's Fen just standing in the middle of the room. Oh no, my bird! Just
how did she get out? Oh, Jenny, come back!
And the guy is just like, let me go get something to deal with that bird. And he starts to make his way over to one of the corners to grab something. You see the guard. Let's see. You got a 19. You can go ahead. What's up, Saga?
Yeah, just gonna try to help because I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna cast, dancing lights and start doing some beacons all over the place and try to center them towards Fen. So it's come, Jenny, come look at the light. Come to the light.
Come to the light,
Are you
Jenny.
sure it's gonna help?
Gorbjorn,
I don't know how birds
you
work.
turn around, Fen
This
is in
is
the middle
very
of my
festive.
bird, and then there's dancing lights moving around him.
Oh my god.
And you see the guard who had started walking away from the door and stopped. He has hesitated for a moment. What would you like to do?
Can I hide behind some pews or something?
Yeah, go ahead and
Look real pious.
He didn't roll low enough for you to have advantage, but go ahead and roll stealth. And we'll see.
Oh, he's praying. He couldn't have stolen anything.
Right.
That would be a 16.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go, boys.
Mm.
I dropped my dice in the floor. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Bumble.
Treat the dice.
I'm back. he looks up for a moment at the bird, and then he squints his eyes as the flashing lights like move past his face. And after he blinks his vision back, he looks over at the statue. Gorbjorn is nowhere to be seen. You said you got a 16?
Mm-hmm.
Saga, your passive perception is a 17?
Yes.
Cool. I'm slowly remembering numbers. You can see Gorbjorn look at this and then, roll out, and now is currently hiding behind a pillar.
Oh.
And you see the guard kind of like look around, and he starts to make his way towards the statue. So Gorbjorn's kind of like off to the left. This guy's going straight away from the exit. But one of the other guards has now perked up watching his friend and is going to start to follow him.
I'm gonna walk over to Gorbjorn and just whisper real quietly. What did you take? I'll make it seem like it's still there.
I'm just gonna take it out of my pants and then like give it to Saga.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna like put it in one of my dress pockets, and then I'm gonna like really try to. I'm gonna like squat a bit and then subtly cast minor illusion around where the statue is and make it look like whatever Gorbjorn just gave me is still sitting there.
Okay. Interesting. The guard who's standing there looking at the statue, and like he keeps looking back to see if he can see Gorbjorn. But he's called his friend over, and he's like,
and then I want to like pop out and just like nonchalantly be walking in a different direction. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll make some of the dancing lights kind of go by their face, right, when I cast the minor illusion, so it's like they kind of have to block their eyes and then it's there. So it's not like they watch it just appear, it's like kind of distracts them.
They look over the supply and then like kind of like glance away as he's like, excuse me, could you turn those off and somebody get that bird?
Come on, Jenny.
Jenny, come down. Come on. I'm sorry.
I can't turn them off.
I know. We'll take you outside. Just come down.
Scream. One of the guards calls over to the man who had been giving you the tour, and he shuffles over real fast.
Oh, God.
Yes. And they're like, you watch. They motion to the thing. Does it look like anything's missing? And the man is gonna look over and see if he can see through this illusion.
Oh my God, guys.
Yes, that's everything.
Oh my God.
Nary a thing out of place.
Oh my God.
And they're like,
God.
okay, with my third nat one of the night.
Oh,
Wow.
Damn.
Christmas miracle.
Gorbjorn, you have exited the building.
Oh
And
my
you make your way out.
God.
You can see that the guard at the nearest corner to the exit you left through, like, kind of like perks up and he like starts to like look inside, but doesn't seem to take much notice of you.
I'm gonna just hang out with the rose petals.
Okay. Meanwhile, inside there's still a light show and
boy.
this bird. And you see the guy is just like, could someone get that bird out before I have to? And
We can do that. Fen, have you got any more of those grubs?
I'm trying, yes. Just everyone keep your voices down. She's scared. All right, Jenny, come down here, please. And I'll just hold up a grub.
Food. Food.
Jenny knows what's up. Jenny loves food. And with a nat 20, her bird brain gets it together.
Good job, Jenny.
And she
That
flies
bomb.
down, lands on your hand, and just like eats at the grub.
I'll take her outside. I'm sorry for the trouble in this holy place.
Yes, you should head on out. Now, don't bring animals inside unless you know.
Of course.
Like,
Very
moving
sorry.
everyone
Very
out.
sorry. Won't happen again.
Only ghosts, no birds.
that is a
Oh,
weak
honestly.
bird. You had a big, strong bird, that would be different.
The strongest bird.
And this is not the strongest bird. This is very small.
Does anyone have feather from the strongest bird?
Oh, I
Did we get
wonder.
any from the rock?
I think
I don't.
I'm pretty sure Gorbjorn
Yeah,
grabbed.
Gorbjorn got something.
Yeah. So there's probably one in the handy
Back
haversack.
I'm not giving that up.
I'm gonna go out and hang out. Fen will go out and hang out with Gorbjorn.
Yeah. Who's leaving and who if somebody has more questions for this guy who kind of like brushes down his robe. Is there anything else? Bit flustered.
Yeah, I'm a torture castmaster and I'm a priest of the Nine Sisters. And as customary, when I come to a new temple, I think I'm going to be here tonight if we can find a place to let us sleep. But I'd like to offer my services if anybody is sick or something. If we pray, I can attempt to heal them. No cost. It's just the right thing to do. And he smiles.
Oh, that is very kind of you. We're going to have a small event later in the day tomorrow. And I know a couple people that could possibly use your help if you're interested in coming by then.
Well, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'll definitely be here if I'm here, I think.
I understand. It is appreciated nonetheless. Thank you for your service, sir. And he like gives you like a bit of a nod.
He nods and then he points to like where the ocean, the huge mural of the ocean, and like he looks at the different waves, and he says, "This would be Duva," and he starts naming off the different sisters by the waves.
Oh.
So he goes, if he sees one that has like a red hue to it, then he'll say that's Obligata or Bara or Un, and the sun going through one would mean that's got to be this one. And he goes over Hemingway and all those, and he kind of like, in passing, he goes, "There's this one, and there's this one," and because that's what the sisters represent as the waves and such.
Yeah. This guy seems very interested. You've hit the sweet spot as gods of ocean. He's in, and he listens enraptured as long as you talk, and like adds in bits where he knows things or where Njord would be involved, and is like, yes, and here, and you both get to talk about the sea and your gods for a bit. Was there anything else you guys wanted to ask about or do here currently, or would all of you eventually file out?
Could I ask one of the guards, like, "Hey, what time do you close?"
Yeah, I was gonna ask if they do a nighttime session or something. I was gonna kind of ask a similar
Service
question.
or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nighttime service.
I don't know, church.
So both of you talking to like, would you both be talking to a guard, or would you be talking to the man in the robes, and Gorbjorn would be talking to a guard?
Let's do both so we get see what the two different answers are.
Oh, well, normally at sunset we close everything up. Just 'cause, listen, I'd love to stand here and talk about Njord all day and night, but I need to rest, sadly. So we don't do too much at night. We do some things occasionally at sunset, which we're going to do tomorrow, but nope, sadly you cannot come and pray here at night.
Oh, okay. I like doing my worshipping by starlight, but that's all right. I can do it out in the open air. It's nice that way too.
Truly one of the best ways one could show their devotion. And outside you're like, oh,
But we all close up shop.
The guard kind of looks at you, and after everybody kind of goes back into position inside, goes back to his spot. No, it closes at night, at sundown. Rest for the men of Njord. No rest for the guard, sadly.
You don't have like shifts, and you don't go off into nightlife, like brothels and pubs.
I'm not part of the night shift, so somebody would take my place.
Well, where do you go for your after work?
Roll insight.
He's got like a wife and kids. He's got a ring on.
It's like this dude's like a.
That is
Where
an
do you go to blow
18.
off steam?
Ooh. You watch just a hint, just a tinge of a flush go up on this man's face. Just normal things. Go for a drink, whatever's available. Seems like like, and then he tries to like focus back up again. Well, as you were.
But where's a dignified prince like me to woo some woman in the night?
Or a whole group of them.
Or just paying.
Hi, buddy. What's up? At that, he like looks at you, and then like looks off to the side, and then the other side. So there's a place in town called the Wise Head Inn. If you have some coin available, I recommend it.
Now, they have Wise Head, but do they have Good Head?
I cannot confirm or deny.
Understandable. So you better.
How about the raunchy chicken?
No. No.
He's like, oh,
The raunchy chicken.
the gruesome chicken.
Oh, gruesome chicken.
Oh, they probably don't have Good Head there.
Situation, but
Yeah, they-
honestly, I've been a couple times. Usually not the best place for someone like me to go.
Oh, because you're a guard.
Yeah. That,
Got it.
yeah. And I have to pretend I didn't see something because like you're gonna see something, you know?
Mhm. Ooh.
Yeah, hard to
Every
be
time.
prince and be in trouble. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
want to go there.
Yeah, of course not. But you know. Anyways,
I'll toss him a silver and like, thanks for the talk.
anytime. And he puts the coin slowly into his pocket.
Okay.
Will work for him. Eventually, I assume everybody reconvenes outside. The party's together. Ptolemaeus, who's just been sort of quiet at the back, like he just kind of watched the whole thing. Has no commentary.
I wonder how much he saw.
Maybe like all of it.
Oh my god!
But he has no opinions of it out loud. He just kind of follows you all when the rest of you leave. He stays in with the last person and then walks out.
Goodness, what a kerfuffle. Can't believe that we almost lost Jenny and all that. It's ridiculous. Fen, you really have got to keep a better latch on your
That's
pocket,
the
all right?
party's bad boys club right now.
I think it's more than half.
Hey, what a weird time.
Yeah, as soon as
Nobody
we're
clued her in.
as soon as we're out of like earshot and Fen is confident that we are,
Yeah.
he's gonna give Gorbjorn like a stiff elbow in the ribs. Like, can you please at least let us know that you plan to do something like that so we can be more prepared for it?
Well, I didn't plan to walk into a place that leaves all their treasure on the floor. Like,
Well, understandable.
He's got a point.
But there were other ways that we could have done that.
Speaking of, that and planning and stuff, I think that goat, I think that they're going to kill it. I don't know, it's just a hunch.
Oh, they're absolutely going to kill that goat.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
It has horns. That's what things with horns are for, is to be.
Everyone nods.
Oh.
Excuse me. No.
Well, all right. No, all right. We're talking about four-legged beasts, not bipedal ones.
So why do they kill the
Your
goat?
boyfriend should die, says Ben.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's what I think. I'm saying that's what gods think. Gods really like things with horns, and to you know.
Ptolemaeus has no idea now what's going on. It's like, okay.
Well, Ptolemaeus wouldn't know. They ran their gods off. The haunted creatures in the land he's from are safe, but gods really like to kill things with horns.
I would
Bulls, goats, deer, the stags especially. I'm
No,
sorry, no
I said
offense to
some rude
Eagle,
things.
except for
I said
he did kidnap us, but
Ptolemaeus is like goes back to writing.
Somewhat made good on that. He made good on that, and also he's been good
Nana,
to
you
Rowan.
know what I mean. The gods
It-
are really fond of killing things with horns.
Well, in better news, I found a better inn to stay at.
Oh, did
Oh.
you? Where?
Yeah.
That's
The guard said the Wellhead Inn instead of the
The which
I like
one?
the wellhead in better.
The which one?
the Wellhead.
I see. Interesting. Well, odd name, but if it's better than the rancid chicken, then yes.
Gruesome chicken.
I thought it was the despicable chicken.
I was
like
the funky
raunchy.
chicken.
That is
I didn't
chicken.
want to stay at the repugnant chicken anyways.
Frederick looks for his flask to find if there's just a little bit of ale somewhere.
Oh yeah.
He's really confused.
Ptolemaeus is like,
AFC?
so where are we going? God. Are we going to the chicken place or the head place or?
I'm sorry. I just want to talk about. If you had your little moment, Fen. Don't mention anything else, please. Though. I want to talk about the goat again.
Please don't
No
talk
more
about
talking
it.
about horns. I just want to talk about the goat. I would like to take it.
Well, that's all you had to say. I'll help you steal a goat.
I
Well,
also
you were
want all the
talking about how
things on the
things with
statue.
horns need to die, and I didn't know what you
didn't-
kept
I-
going
I
and you
didn't
kept
thi-
talking and nobody.
I didn't say that was the right thing to do. I said that the gods tend to like things to
Okay,
be
stop.
sacrificed
Let's just
with
stop.
horns.
I just want to take the goat.
I sympathize with you, Saga, but it's important to the religion of the town. We are guests in the town.
Kill the goat.
I know.
She's right. That goat stands for something important to many people, and you're a priestess now. There'll be a time where you may have to make a great sacrifice, and it's just what you're going to have to live with. It's the way it is.
Are we okay with stealing from the church? Because I
I
kind of are.
Of course we would not.
Oh,
That person
okay.
was very nice to us in there. That priest was very nice. He told us many things. He was very nice. He invited us back for a special event tomorrow even. I may even perform a miracle.
Saga's gonna look over top of Tordrick to Gorbjorn and just give him like an eye, like, wait, you're gonna need to talk.
There's a moment between the two of you where you both are like, we understand, and then like make eye contact for a moment. And then both of you just like, there is a cold breeze that moves by, and it's encouraging. Yes, Nana.
Cool
I
guy.
at least attempt to see that meaningful moment of eye contact.
Nah,
Probably I won't.
nah.
Cool. Fine.
Nah,
I'm
this
just the
Tordrick
one
was
who takes
talking
the
in the
fall for
meantime.
the party. I don't get involved with any of the party's dealings. I just take the fall for it. It's fine.
Nana's like, it's fine. I'm fine.
I will take responsibility for my actions. It's fine.
If they tell you, you don't have plausible deniability anymore.
That's true. You're like,
Yeah,
I didn't know it was going to
sure.
happen. So
You
you're
told me
safe.
not to. That's all you know. You said not to, and that's it.
Yeah. So everybody then agrees in that moment we will not steal any of the goods and
We
or
will
Maybe-
not
And then me
steal.
and Saga were like, we're going to steal.
yeah,
We're gonna steal.
a small team up is made in that moment, a bond. But after you all decide, of course not. Why would we? What's next?
We're heading out of the rich district, so the magic shop was on the way to the poor. I don't want to call it the poor district, but
Yeah, no, it's
The
it's
common place or common area or something.
It's just like the normal area, and then it gets a bit shady a little further in, but it's just where everybody else is. If you're not
I
part
take
of
it
the
it's like-
temple or the fancy inn, it's just everyone else.
I take it it's not quite as night and day as like the rich and the criminal districts.
It is not like Olafsveller. Olafsveller is much more aggressive in its showings. This place not as much.
Slightly more subtle in the gradation of the neighborhoods.
You guys, using your directions, make your way through. Nana, you said you were looking for a place to send mail. What would you like to do?
I wanted to send word back to. I was trying to find the name of the town and can't, but word needs to be communicated back to. Oh God, I had her name. I'm sorry. Not Hoigercliff. No. We're not sending word about anything all the way back to Hoigercliff. No. Oh, God.
I can't help you unless you give me hints.
The
I
hammer?
understand. No, the woman who had asked us to look out for her mother, and we found her, and she attacked us. Need to communicate some aspect of that.
Hey, we burned your mom.
It's
So
gonna be
sorry.
not that. It's gonna be not that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you throw a copper this guy's way, that letter will be sent.
All right.
You're welcome to give me the details on that letter later, but we all know that it is going to that woman.
whose
couple
name
towns.
is Saren, and her mother's name is Marith.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
I was like, I can't look up the notes. I'm in a whole new book.
That's
I
understandable.
started a whole new book.
We know on the book now, boys.
But you were able to quickly drop that off, not a problem.
When
Moving-
we're there, can I ask, like, the mailman, like, so how secure are the mail carriers? I have important package.
Oh, well, we have different people for different jobs. So if it's something that's high priority or something that needs to be delivered quickly or very safely, it just depends on the price.
The very safely.
Yes.
Also
Also depends how far it's going, but we
to
could do
go
that.
under.
Is it a package or a letter?
Package.
Ah, well, 2 gold pieces should suffice, hoping it's not too big, and then that could affect it.
I'm gonna put 20 platinum on the desk. Is that too big?
No, I think that's just perfect.
I'm gonna give him a bunch of squints, and then I'm gonna pay him 3 gold.
To somebody in particular in Gilded?
Chief. I can't remember her name.
Hertha. Her name is
I
Hertha.
was gonna say Haga
That's all right,
or
that's
something
okay.
like that. I'm like, no, it's definitely not.
Um,
To Hertha.
Chief Hertha.
All right. Is there a letter you'd like to attach, or would you like me to sign your name?
With letters say, for town and your little daughter,
Son.
take.
No, I like daughter. That's good.
Oh, God.
Well, it's this big. It has no hair. What am I supposed to do?
All
Yeah,
babies look the same.
Babies look the same.
The name's Erling.
Human babies all look the same. We can say.
I mean, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's true.
Human into your daughter. Yes. Anything else?
Look out.
Look
What?
out.
What?
Like, like looking out. Like, look out.
Like exclamation mark or period? Like
what?
So is it like is it more of like a look out, or is it like look out? You know?
It's like look out.
Period. And who can I say this is from?
Prince Scorpion.
Prince Scorpion. Glances at you, glances back at the paper. All right.
I feel like that would explain a lot in and of itself.
You watch as he moves the platinum into a bag and ties it off and attaches the letter. I promise this will be moved swiftly and safely.
I'll come for you if it doesn't deliver.
Understood. I am threatened on the daily.
Good, as
I'm
every
still
mailman
here.
should.
I have taken.
Newman.
No life from me has been stolen yet, but then again, that does not mean somebody has not tried. Your letters and package shall arrive.
I didn't realize Gorbjorn had a dog-like adversarial aspect with mailmen.
Sometimes.
Half of my personality is dog.
All right, that's okay. Actually,
Man, like, there's something wrong with this guy.
very Mr. Peanut Butter of you.
Guy with groceries walks by, looks in the window, speeds up. But your stuff is put to the side. If there's anything else, happy to deliver. But
how late are you open?
we stay open until sundown, and then we open at sunrise.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Have a good evening.
Was that burp in character? Please
Yeah,
tell me.
it was.
Oh my god.
I'll remember your face always. And then he turns to her.
And the smell of
And your smell.
You make your way a little further down.
Oh my god.
There seem to be like a few like kind of thinner roads you kind of go through, leaving the main road, making your way around, and eventually you find a very slender building that just seems like two buildings were already there, and this one decided, no, I'm going to be right here. Is the energy this one has.
I like
It's about
buildings with
2
that
stories
energy.
tall, pretty thin, like if 3, 4 of you stood side by side, not using Gorbjorn in this example.
Mm.
Like each of you could high five both walls.
Wow.
But you get to this wooden building, kind of an older look to it, and etched onto the building in, I wouldn't say etched on, it was, it's more burnt on. So the wording is dark. It says the Hidden Ember. It has a couple windows, but they are very hazy. So you can like see there's light inside, so you assume it's open, but besides that, can't really see in.
Frosted glass.
Sorry,
Better.
there's just a cat staring at me. I haven't even done it. Would you guys like to go inside?
Sure.
When you enter the building, the first thing that hits you is the burning smell of wood. It's very hot in here. There's also the smell of herbs. It's very like potpourri on a bonfire is sort of the scent in this place. And very subtly, Saga, you'd pick this up. You wouldn't know exactly what it is, but there's a very, very faint, a not very good smell. It almost smells like rotten eggs a little bit. Just a very small hint, mostly covered up by the smell of burning wood and potpourri. but there is an underlying smell. In this room, there are 4 like thin stone pillars, different from the walls and everything else in the room. And on top of each pillar, you see a small creature with like slender arms and legs, large pointed head. The bodies are black, but there are just like cracks in the sides of the face and the chest that kind of burn like a fire. And they just sit on top of the pillars and watch you. At the front, you can see there are supplies around. Place has a nice looking stock. You can see weapons and armor and potion bottles. You see a woman standing at the desk, currently looking at something and writing on a piece of paper. She looks up at you and stands just over 6 feet tall. Her skin is like an ashen gray color, but around, like on her lips and like in the waterline of her eyes, it is a brighter orange color, and her pupils are black. She has short red hair that is slicked back on her head, and she looks over the group. How can I help? How can I help you today?
What time do you close?
That's a suspicious question.
This is a suspicious store.
Is
It
it?
is a bit. The store closes, but not all of the occupants sleep. And like takes a glance over at the creatures on the pillars, which all turn to keep eyes on like everybody in the store.
But what are you doing later?
Wow! Shoot for the moon, bud!
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Oh my
Normal?
god!
Yeah, just normal.
So I got a 5.
Wow!
A little too strong there, I admit.
Yeah, came in hot. Maybe that's her thing, maybe it's not. He looks you over. How can I help you? Is there something you're interested in?
A few things, I should imagine.
Of course, if there's something in particular, I can also give you a quick tour of wares, if that is easier. And you can hear like at the edge of her voice, it like kind of crackles, almost like the sound of a fire. Just a bit of a crackle in it.
Interesting.
Do you have any magic fabric?
Magic fabric. I have armors. I would not say just fabric in general, but I have armor that is enchanted.
I look to the group. Like any of these guys?
I think anyone in this group could perchance be able to wear these if they had the coin. Let me show you. And she moves over and goes over to a very nice looking, like never worn, almost a vague red tint to the leather, a studded leather set of armor. This piece in particular, when you wear it, it is good for protection, yes, but also it can appear to be something else. It does not have to look like armor, or it could look like a very specific set of armor, if that is your interest.
I'm sorry, we didn't catch your name. Is that because you didn't share it, or?
I didn't, but I can. And she smiles. And you can see like the orange continues a bit in the mouth. My name is, and she kind of motions back towards the entrance. I just go by Ember here.
Lovely to meet you, Ember. And then Roshan will introduce himself and the rest of the party.
A pleasure. And then motions back to the armor. This is I would say, a more affordable piece, if that's something you're interested in. I also have something very special. Had it for quite a while now. And she goes over to, it's like a very long dresser, wide drawers, but it's pretty stout. So it doesn't go very far away from the wall. And she pulls it out, and inside you can see it looks like a chainmail shirt. And she puts a hand under it and like moves it slightly, and you can see a red tint at certain angles. Now this is very special. Incredibly protective, very protective against fire. Continues to like shift it around, and you can see that like some of the chain is like most of it is in the normal pattern, but like up the sides and a bit over the shoulders, some of it has been moved to be more decorative in nature. This is incredibly rare and very expensive, but I thought I would show you nonetheless.
What's the price of those things, though?
I think that's a very apt question. She points over at the studded leather. This piece is 900 gold. And this piece, she points at, she sets the chain armor back down. This one is 25,000.
Oh.
Just look at Gorbjorn.
I will say I've had this piece for quite some time, but I'm sure it's meant for someone, and closes it. I'll go ahead and give you just a quick tour, unless there's something in particular you're interested in.
Sure.
Might I see your bows? My father's a woodworker. I just want to see what sort of craft you have available here.
I currently have one bow and a few sets of arrows. One moment. She pulls out a long bow and sets it up on the counter. It's beautiful craftsmanship. Strong, once again, unused. You can see a theme of a lot of fire design. Like, she's like, it's just for show. This is just a bow imbued with more power than average. Nothing too fancy. Implying it's a +1 bow. I also have, she pulls out 3 quivers and full of arrows and sets them down. These ones, she pulls out arrows, and they're twisted. These are corkscrew arrows. They are meant to be shot into water, and they will not veer off. They are meant to hit their mark from land to sea. We also have, and she pulls out like a very thick wooden arrow with runes and glyphs around the sides. This is an arrow of thunder. On impact, makes quite the sound and does a good bit of damage, throws things everywhere. Just things go flying. And then we have this one, and this one red in hue, and the fire design is much more prominent. These arrows are made specifically to be set alight and are very good at setting wooden things very rapidly ablaze. For 20 of the corkscrew, it is 5 gold. For 5 of the thunder, it is 50. and for 10 of the fire arrows, it is 10.
I'm not the one that holds the coin purse. I'll have to let everyone do their shopping and we'll convene further on. But the beautiful craftsmanship on that bow. What was the price on that?
Oh, on the bow, of course. $225. Which one of you does hold the coin purse?
That would be our resident prince.
Princely indeed. She begins to walk you around the very cramped store, having to like squeeze past you each time she wants to go somewhere. Pardon me, excuse me.
Yes, of course, sorry.
Just flirting.
Just, oh no, just
Watch as I scoot by you. Ooh.
ooh. She shows you another set of armor. This is good for cold environments and things that perchance live in it. Gives you resistances in that sense. That is 1,200. She sets it down and makes her way through. She pulls up a wooden hand that has 2 rings on it. This one's good for, to be blunt, jumping, if that is your interest. And this one, she points to the other one, is good for resisting difficult terrains and things that may try to hold you in place. The ring of jumping is 150, and the ring of free action, as I like to call it, is 1,000. I also have potions, and she shows you to a plethora of healing potions going from lesser to superior. The lesser is 50 gold a piece, the greater is 250 a piece, and the superior, which I only have one of at the moment, is 2,500 a piece. I also have a few slightly enchanted items if there's something in particular you wanted. This is a potion of, and she's like pulling things up. This is a potion of fire breathing. This is a potion of fire giant strength, and it's just putting things down. Is there something you wanted? I could tear the whole shop apart.
I actually wonder, do you have the means to enchant an existing piece of equipment?
Oh yes, I'll go ahead and tell you it is quite expensive and takes some time.
How expensive and how much time?
Well, it depends on what you need and how loose I suppose the prince's coin purse is.
Fair. Nana kind of gestures to one of the spears on her back. I just wanted to see about making one of these more effective for combating things out in the wilderness. If you've any enchantments that would be particularly effective on the corrupted and their ilk, that would always be welcome.
Well, if you're just looking for a bit more oomph, that is certainly doable and the easiest thing to do. For about supplies, time to make. For about 350, I could do it, and quite booked at the time. It's going to take me a week.
Ooh.
We will look at what you have provided then.
Yes, I'm afraid we don't have much hope of being here a week, and not certain exactly how long it will take for us to finish business elsewhere before we can stop back through.
Of course. She shows you that her +1 things that she has already made is a long sword, a long bow, and a dagger.
Okay.
So these are already prepared if that is of interest to you. Is anything speaking to you?
I have a question.
Of course.
Also outside of game question. If
Uh-huh.
I know of an item that I want to ask about, can I ask for it, or should I?
How about try me some flowery language and
I am gonna add the flowery language.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very sagafied and it does absolutely nothing for combat if that helps.
Cool. Go
Um,
ahead. See what happens.
So, I asked for fabric earlier. So
Mm.
what if you could enchant like a cloak or a dress or something to change into any cloak or dress you wanted it to change into?
Well, that is a similar enchantment to the leathers.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be protection or anything. I just need it to look really nice.
Oh, so you just want the glamour aspect.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Did you have a piece in mind?
Well, probably this dress that I'm wearing.
May I touch you?
Oh, like me or the dress?
They are connected currently.
Oh, yeah, sure, go for it.
Of course.
Fenn's perky ears perk up at the permission to touch. Like, that's. I appreciate the courtesy there.
What was the action?
I do magic. Don't worry about it.
Saga just starts giggling.
She's like looking. It's very nicely crafted.
Thank you.
goes to
Made
the
myself.
hem of the dress. They're very talented.
Thank you.
Probably because you already have the piece. How about $650? And once again, it may start to lean into a week.
Oh,
But if there is a place that I could also ship it to, but I would need to be paid in full if that were the case.
I don't know if this can I say the item I was asking for?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, technically there's an item called Cloak of Many Fashions, and it's a common magical item. $650 is not normally the price of a common magical item, but I understand if this is like different and prices are different. I just like if that changes anything,
Prices are
it's totally
a
fine.
little different, but I am basing it off of the thing that she has that can do that. The fact that she has to enchant it herself and get the supplies.
Yeah.
But I took a big chunk off for the lack of armor aspect. You are welcome to try and convince her of less or trade.
Or
Well-
throw me into the trade.
Put me in, coach.
Oh, well, a common magical item is normally 50 or so gold, so I don't know if we're gonna get it down that far, but
Oh, we're not going to get it that far at all.
no.
That's not going to happen today.
I didn't think so. Well, I'd really, really like that, but things that help my friends with actual stuff, because we fight stuff sometimes, is probably better. So maybe towards the end, if we actually have extra money. But,
Well, depending on how much you buy, I also can be quite agreeable on consolidating the price.
okay. Thank you. Just turn around and go back to the...
Of course.
Tordrick
you-
will
go ahead.
go over to Gorbjorn and whisper in his ear, like hit him on the side, and he's kind of loud because he doesn't whisper, as we found out earlier. But he says, Gorbjorn, see if if they have anything that like will summon rats.
Do you have any rat summons? Or we'll take unicorns too.
Tordrick.
I love the concept. I would have to, as many of these special orders, I would have to make it. I don't have anything on hand. Though I love the energy.
How about
She vibes
magical
with it.
horns that never lose alcohol?
Oh, that sounds like a problem in the making. I would love to assist. It would need to be crafted. You said that you fight things often.
Yes.
I'm often looking for strange things or supplies. I'm sure I could be quite agreeable if you have anything interesting on hand.
Gonna take out my giant's horn Just like kind of look through my bag of like random stuff. Got a great axe. I don't use that.
Looks at this. Where?
Isn't Tordrick's old shield in there too?
Yep.
Probably.
I have another
This-
idea that I wanted to ask about super quickly.
I would
Um,
love to hear it. I'm honestly enjoying this deeply.
What about like a horse saddle that you couldn't fall off of?
Aw.
You all are very creative, and I'm very invested. If you brought me the horse saddle, once again, all of you keep in mind that this is probably a week, and then each item adds to that a bit.
Mhm.
To keep you seated safely, or at least keep you more secure. I could do that probably for 300.
Oh, okay. How much it would be instead of keeping you on the horse that protects the horse?
So horse armor.
Yes, horse armor is the other option.
You may need to go to an armor smith for horse armor, but if you acquire horse armor, I can enchant it.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had to know.
Of course.
She
Looks like she's
Roshan-
having a blast.
Roshan would like to go whisper to Tordrick and be like, why aren't you talking to her?
I don't know. I like this place.
She too hot.
She's kind of scary.
She's got red hair.
Yeah, I thought you would love the red hair.
Usually scary is outweighing the hair.
I don't know. I was drinking a lot that day. Yes, I remember her. Oh yes. I fell asleep at her house. Woke up and she left me a note. He's like reminiscing everything about.
Putting things together, he's like, oh yeah.
But this place gives me the creeps. But I had a good idea. Rats. We could put rats in that hotel. We can sneak in one of us. That'll teach him.
I'm
That's
sorry, you have the inability to whisper. Would you ask if you're talking about the Gilded Knights Inn?
Yeah, fuck that place.
What is your opinion on them?
Fuck that place.
They treated us like
Spiteful
trash.
Tordrick. They love spiteful Tordrick.
They were really rude to us. Very rude.
They treated us like trash. Plain and simple. We did nothing to them. We've helped people all over the place and saved people's lives and animals' lives, and just ridiculous. Terrible.
We did offer even to pay a security deposit, and they wouldn't have it.
Well, perhaps. If the goal is mischief at a particular place that we're discussing. Their torment enough could possibly be enough for at least that item.
Oh my god.
I think if you give me, she like tilts her head back. I have something that summons already. If you can give me a day, I think I can acquire something of interest. And hopefully it ends up causing minor havoc at a pretentious inn.
Minor
I-
havoc at a pretentious inn?
Can I insight? Try to figure out what some of this is. Some of
Yeah,
this
go for it.
spite.
I'd love to look into this spite.
Yeah. Ah, man. I rolled bad. It's a 4.
Alas.
Yeah, it definitely seems like she has a little bit of a vendetta, but you can't pinpoint it.
She got beef.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mama.
say that some sort of rat summoning thing could be acquired by tomorrow. I think I have a good idea for that. And of course, you've done something for me, which is brighten my day when you do this. And sometimes that's payment enough.
If we could dress ourselves in weird outfits or something like that, I don't know, that would probably be really helpful too.
Roll persuasion.
Come on, this is the big one. I've rolled so bad all day.
Can I help?
No, you could succeed instantly.
But I already used the thing.
Not
You
today.
get one each day.
This is no, because then I'm just gonna fail when I actually get into the heist part.
Okay.
Okay, well,
That's a good thing to save for the heist. That's fair.
yeah.
That is fair.
It's an 11.
Okay. She looks at you. I admire the pestering. It's interesting. Better
It's
than
kind-
you know.
You at least have like a hood or
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
mask.
magic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you want masks?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, of course. I have masks.
Okay.
But hear me out. You seem very trustworthy, mostly you. I feel that I can trust you.
Who's she
looking
talking
at-
to?
She's looking at Saga.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, which one of us is trustworthy?
Just like Saga looks to the group. Are you sure? Like anybody here? How about? See now, just want to make sure you understand the consequences of this. Are you able to wear light armors?
Me? Yes, actually. I just, like looking good.
Of course. Now, she goes back over to the glamored studded leathers. Now, how about I cut off a good chunk of the price? You wear it for this event, this rat infestation. You give it a whirl. And if you bring me back something of interest, I'll let you keep it. But if you do not return, I will hunt you.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. No, because we probably have to come back to get the other items we're going to buy. So that sounds good to me.
So, and the thing is, it never has to look like armor. It just looks like whatever you want. So if you could give me...
You like goats?
No, the goat is mine.
I don't dislike goats. There a goat involved now?
I didn't think
How do you
No,
feel
no,
about
no.
the Temple of Njord?
Oh. Are you going to unleash rats also in the Temple of Njord?
I just want to take
We
their
would
goat. They
never
have a
do such a
goat.
never, never,
Of
never.
course not.
I rather didn't think so.
I've just always admired some of the architecture there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Pricey.
Hmm.
Anyways, she kind of slicks her hair back. So how about you give me $250 for the leather armor? You bring me back something nice from wherever you happen to go in town. And then you may keep it. I also just love to see these things in motion. There is something a bit devastating about them sitting on shelves. So I would be willing to work with that if you are willing to pay that current price. And once again, we will hunt you if necessary. And you hear just like snickering coming from above.
We'll also add the bow.
Uh-huh.
And did you want any arrows, Fen?
Yeah, the water arrows seemed like they might be useful at some point.
We'll get a one of each.
A flight of arrows, if you will.
Oh.
Oh, that was very funny. And she just like turns and walks over to the arrows. And she takes out, dear God, you have now given me a math problem.
Oh no.
250 plus the bow plus 10 for
so-
10 arrows. 5. Oh my God.
If you tell me the prices of the arrows, I can give it to you.
Okay. So 20 corkscrew arrows are 5 gold.
5 for 20.
River
The
Host 12.
thunder arrows, 5 of them for 50.
Gotcha.
And the fire arrows, 10 gold for 10. So
then
what
the
would the
bow.
price be for 2 arrows of each?
Oh no, for like each pricing of that. So there would be
Oh, you want the shebang.
yeah, so it'd be
Oh,
like
I can do that.
Oh.
yeah, so it'd be
Oh.
20 of the so I'll just keep those prices in
Fire.
those amounts. So Fen will get 10 fire arrows.
Okay.
5
You can
of
have
the
all of those arrows then. That makes much more sense and makes my brain not hurt as much.
Yeah,
All right,
Hey.
cool. Somebody give me a list
315.
of what I need to add to my inventory, and if there's
Okay.
actually a name for these things.
I will help you with that later, don't you
All
worry.
right, thank you.
So bow, arrows, armor, anything else.
How much is the bow again?
The bow
225.
was 225.
Gotcha. I was interested in that ring of jumping. How much is that?
God.
150.
That was 150.
Okay, so that's 69.0. Awesome. I don't want to buy
Nice.
anything else.
Nice.
What about the strong potion, Gorbjorn? You could be super strong.
Golbjorn already is super strong.
Yeah, but even stronger, just for a little bit. What if we ever need to like flip a house or something? I don't know.
I think
Would
Golbjorn
be
could
the
probably
case.
do that.
It is 700.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
Never mind.
I understand. I mean, you'd have to kill a man for me to, just give that one to you.
Oh,
You
boy.
got a man who needs killing?
Are you the
Oh
type
my
to kill a
God.
man who needs
I'm
killing?
just kidding, not me.
Rude.
Oh
Probably.
God, Snow.
Of course, I am also kidding.
Wink.
Anything else?
I imagine Gorbjorn just says.
I'm
wink,
just like,
and
yeah, I'm
also
heavily
winks.
just like wink after like each item.
Yeah. She acknowledges each wink.
He doesn't deal well with rejection.
She-
He just lays it on thicker. It's not healthy.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
I'm just curious how much the other armor costs. The cold armor.
Oh, the cold armor. You're going to do that thing where all of you make that face when I say a number.
Oh, is it a lot again?
It's a bit.
1200.
A connoisseur. It's
Oh.
1200.
Okay. Never mind.
I understand. And I will be thoroughly impressed if you pull this off. Looks at Gorbjorn. Very impressed.
Oh my God.
Money, please. And she goes back over
69
to the
platinum. Nice.
counter. Ooh, just watches platinum go on the counter. Oh, that's pleasant. All right. Takes that. Is there anything else we could do for you?
Do you want to hang out?
Roll persuasion.
Oh
Okay.
God. You can do it.
I kind of like her.
Gorbjorn really likes her.
I got a 1.
Oh, no.
Oh!
No, why don't you
So
ask?
I've been doing so bad all day. I've been so nice though. Okay, well with my persuasion, it's technically an 8, but whatever.
Uh-huh. She looks at you. I'm fully flattered. I'm not sure if our interests align. But maybe they do, and we can discuss it at length at a later date.
Are you like?
It's a date.
Can you like not eat bread or something? Because if that's the case, then maybe we shouldn't hang out.
These are very strict guidelines to hang out with you.
She does
But I
like bread quite a
do
lot.
eat bread, so
Oh, okay.
we'll make sure that we have other things in common as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we have something.
Of
Oh my
course.
god.
I'm sure we could share a bread sometime. That sounds,
Break bread with each other.
that's very funny. And she like dryly laughs. Are we done here?
Yes,
I
so
do believe so, yes.
It has been incredibly pleasant. Where are you staying tonight? You're
Well,
certainly from out of town.
I heard something about Wildhead Inn.
Wonderful head in.
Oh, the Wellhead Inn.
Oh, this has been my favorite theme throughout the episode. She like looks over the group.
Certainly not staying at the repugnant chicken.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're flipping pages. Now I don't even know. You mean the Wise Head Inn?
Hmm.
She like
Yes, that
raises
one.
an eyebrow and like looks over the group.
Was an inn that we had been told would be better than the
Reprehensible
goodness.
chicken.
The dirty chicken.
Gruesome chicken.
Mm.
the headless
So-
chicken.
I'll give you my opinion on the situation. If you are into having sex with sex workers, I would advise the Wise Head Inn. You can't exactly buy a room there without having sex with someone. You could, but it would be very expensive, is my assumption of it. The gruesome chicken, on the other hand, honestly gets a terrible rap. But if you ever need someone murdered, I suppose. I'm kidding. That would be very expensive, and you all spent a lot of money already.
Oh my god.
But I would say if you're just staying the night, you will more than likely not have your throats cut, but I'd keep a hand on that purse. Points to the bag of holding. I'd keep the nice things in there.
Duly
But
noted.
not a bad spot. My humble opinion.
So long as you keep your head about you.
But if you're into that more, comforting aspect of an inn, Wisehead is not a poor choice. But once again, it is very expensive. You will be paying for a person to be in the room with you. Like, looks at Saga and just like fully explains it. Like,
That sounds miserable.
You know how I had to go into a room with a drink and the people in the town at the Feel Nice place?
Yeah,
Why
go on.
would?
If
Why
we
do
got
you pay them
naked
to
and then
have-
we had sex, that thing, like,
Oh,
you have to do that there. So we don't want to make you do that there.
oh, are you talking about Bellevin?
You're talking to the champion of Bellevin, Prince Gorbjorn.
That is true.
Very impressive.
He's a very impressive man. Looks can be deceiving. He's an impressive man.
He looks a bit impressive.
He
Don't
does
sell him
come on a
short.
little bit strong to start, but good
Thank
people.
you all for. I think it is beautiful that you're wingmanning for your friend. Fill her in with some rats later, and when you come by to pick it up, we can talk. But once again,
I think we can do that.
the chicken gets a bad rap, but it's not bad.
All right.
You all have a
Fair
nice night.
And you as well. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
too.
Of
Thank you for
course.
thank you for your hospitality.
Happy to give it. Longest conversation I think I've had in a month. Enjoy your night.
Still available for a drink later if you like.
We'll be at the chicken.
Gorbjorn, go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage. We'll say Fen gave you the help as both of you are like, meet us at the chicken.
Thank you for the advantage because that would have been a 1.
Rough night.
So yeah, just
The
a
better one.
14.
Okay. She watches you as you walk out. I'll consider it. And the door closes. Based on inns, which inn would you like to go to?
We're going to the chicken head.
Danky chicken.
Danky. You all gather your things and your horse and
And
your
unicorn.
unicorn, and you continue down to the Chicken Inn, which I'm just going to now call it the Chicken Inn because the rest of the words don't matter anymore. You approach, and Roshan, you've had your head on a swivel looking for something very specific this whole time. And as you get into this more, let's say,
Free
you
market.
can tell that it's a little bit less savory here. You're looking around, and you can see the occasional conversation happening off in the shadows. And as the cart rolls by, you eventually arrive at the Gruesome Chicken, which you can hear there are people shouting on the inside. There are currently 2 people having an argument outside. There is a woman standing next to a cart looking up at like a very muscular man standing on a cart. Blonde hair, shaved short on the sides, and a very short mohawk in the center. And she looks up at him, and she's like, just one more delivery. One more. And the guy jumps off the cart. I'm not messing with him. Do it yourself. And this guy walks off. And Roshan, your eyes follow him as he walks away in front of the cart. And there, clear as day, faded red, a red line across the side of this cart. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here with us. We truly appreciate it. We love getting to tell you guys a story, meet some friendly people or not so friendly people in town. Thank you again. We really appreciate it. Here at the Dice Cult, we have plenty of show. We got a lot going on. Gosh, it's so hard to get out of like character names, and then I have to readjust. Frank, what do we have to look forward to on Tuesdays?
Well, not this Tuesday. We're closed down for the holidays, but next week we'll be heading up Legends of Theia. The crew is going through a dungeon right now, which is the Dwarven Hall of the Dead, and they found their adversary that's creating undead using the Dwarven skeletons, and hopefully next week they'll survive the head-on with the mean mushroom necromancer. So we'll see what happens. That's
yeah.
Can't miss
Tuesday
that,
nights.
gang.
That sounds like a blast.
They're going to get blasted, all right. Green stuff. Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm already invested.
Yeah, and that one's in at 20s, right?
Yeah.
Where they work.
Abby, could you tell me about Wednesdays?
Ooh.
Absolutely. On Wednesdays, we run a little show over on the Dice Cult YouTube channel. Most Wednesdays, we run it every other Wednesday. Most of the time, it's a little show called Cordially Invited, where we try to have a wedding go correctly. It's a D&D 5e. But we have been doing a little mini arc where rather than playing our Cordially Invited characters, we're playing as super high level wizards in sort of a wizard
Oops, all wizards.
prison. Maybe it's just like we ended up here. I'm not sure where we are. We got to get out. Believe we are taking a break for the holidays as well, so we'll be back in the new year. I think it'll be on the 5th of January. You can always check our social medias though. Jillian, if you want to tell them where those are.
Of course, I'd love to. And speaking of what we have going on Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and Last Remaining Light, which normally goes up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Vampire drama. Currently, 2 of the coterie were asked to cause a distraction. Well, we did it.
A distraction happened.
When every FBI agent in Seattle is chasing you. You've
Pretty
done your
distracting.
job appropriately. But I'm not worried about us. I think we're doing just fine. And I'm going to get a boon out of it. So that's all that
Ooh.
matters. I'm just here to get a
Yeah.
boon. But that will not be going up this week because once again, the holidays. But once the new year starts, you can check us out that Saturday. But, take some time. We're not going to play Vampire on Christmas. It just doesn't seem like what you should do.
Aw, come
Nobody will play
on.
Vampire with me on Christmas.
Boo!
It's fine. But
Man.
on that same vein, next Monday, sadly, we will also take some time off for the holidays because people have families and obligations, and maybe just take a moment and think about your life.
Boo.
Boo!
How
Dungeons and
dare
Dragons.
I'm booing
we take
myself,
time
to
for
be honest.
Introspection.
Um,
Yeah, honestly, same.
So we're gonna take a week, and then we'll be back the following week at the new year.
Ooh.
If you want to
First
keep
game of
up with us,
2022.
if you want to keep up with us and everything we're doing, like the whole group in general, it is the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter, so you can keep up with when shows are happening. For us in particular, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you want to know when we're going live and look at some art that Abby made and some other amazing artists, you can definitely check that out. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Once again, love telling you guys a story. We go live same time, same place every Monday, except the next one at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and happy holidays. Good night, everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays, cultists.
Bye.